This podcast is brought to you by Martin Kearns and the Valle of Valhalla series. In the battle between two ancient evils, can one naive young man become the last hope against powerful creatures of legend? Beneath the Veil is the gripping first book in the Valle of Valhalla dark urban fantasy series. If you like reluctant heroes, infernal myths, and bloody epic clashes, then you'll love Martin Kearns' formidable foray into the unknown. So head on over to readkearns.com and grab yourself a copy of Beneath the Veil today. Hello guys, and welcome to a very special episode of Stories, the True and the Fictional. We're doing something we haven't done in a very, very long time. Because we're not all just about indie authors here, we're about indie things in general, and me and Ryan love indie films. So we're going to talk to some indie filmmakers very, very, very soon. But first, everyone is dying to know, Ryan, are you still living the dream?
I am living the dream. In my custom Story True and the Fictional t-shirt, which Jamie will put up on the screen, available now. So far, only one purchased by my wife, and hopefully we can get a few more through the works and get everyone living the dream, because every time anyone says living the dream, I get $2.50, because I own that phrase.
Cool. All right, guys, yes, we do have merch. Links are down below, but also remember to check out our sponsors, Rebecca Castles and Martin Kearns. They have been supporting the show for quite a while now. They're great friends, great authors. Paranormal romance from Rebecca Castles, and a little bit of horror and urban fantasy from Martin Kearns. And I'm going to do something...
And also check out, I forgot to plug it when you asked me how I was doing. Check out S.S. Fitzgerald's books. We had him on the podcast last week. I started reading Sinner's Pass, which is kind of a Silent Hill demon kind of book. I started reading it yesterday. I've already read 100 pages, so it's very, very good. And I think he's got a new book coming out soon. I can't remember the name, but Jamie will probably link it or something.
It's Alone Together Factions. I think it's the
Alone Together Faction Part 2. Yeah.
Look, and it's a zombie. Yeah, it's a zombie book, so it's topical. And yeah, I feel, and this is not planned at all, but you should check out my zombie book.
Oh,
the Wedding Night Trilogy.
At all.
No, where the zombie apocalypse breaks out at a medieval-themed bucks party. It's a lot of fun. But now that we've got all the pleasantries out of the way, let's bring in our guests, Erin and Kyle. Welcome to the show.
Hey, thanks so much.
Hello, thank you guys for having us.
Or should I say Erin and Kyle plus someone else who's hiding?
Plus baby.
Anya here. 6-month-old did not want to eat away during this interview, so
she's gonna miss it.
It's a family show now, technically. So
yeah,
there we go.
a family horror show. That's fine.
Awesome. Well, let's just get right into it. For people who don't know, who are you guys and why are you here?
Yeah, who the hell are we? So we made an awesome, in our opinion, zombie movie called ZombieCon Vol 1. It's about a group of cosplayers who accidentally trigger a zombie apocalypse. And I am a producer, co-writer, and actor in the film.
Yeah, I just want to tag on to what you were saying in the intro. You know, I know at least one copy has been bought by my wife. So...
Nice.
Awesome.
I like it.
Well, me and Ryan both have watched it. We are going to talk about a lot about that because we did thoroughly enjoy it. I felt like it was almost like a love letter to cosplayers in a way.
Yeah, 100%.
And yeah. I felt it because I've done a little bit of cosplay back in my, probably 10 years ago. I think I still have the costume hanging. I did Green Arrow once upon a time.
Nice.
The Stephen Amell one, and everyone said, "Oh, it's an okay costume, but like, what's with the flat?" And I'm going like, I don't have like an 8-pack, man, so I don't have the indentation.
I've got a hilarious story about that. My dad was in the airport and he walked up behind a guy. We were in the middle of promoting ZombieCon in the very beginning, and we talked to a guy named Cosplay Chris. He's a YouTuber, actually out of Australia, and he was promoting. He was helping us kind of get fundraising for the movie initially. So my dad watched all his YouTube channels, and he walked up behind Stephen Arnell in the airport, and he's like, "Hey, are you?" And they look similar. He's like, "Hey, are you cosplay Chris?"
That's
so
wow. Wow.
I don't think he was expecting that at all.
No, that's a story. Because I have a mate, haven't seen him in years, but his brother was in the SAS, the Australian Special Force, like insane stuff, and he trained Stephen Amell for Arrow.
Oh wow.
That's awesome.
And he put him through the insane training. Look, there's a reason why I think it's since after season 3, Stephen Amell kind of wears a shirt more because that training is insane, you know. And
imagine, man, that is
I noticed when I was watching season 1 of Arrow, I thought this guy's supposed to be part of a really, really rich family, but he can't seem to afford a t-shirt because he's just every single episode. He had the guns and the abs out. It was all just, you know. I'm like, come on, man. Like, wear a shirt. I know. Are you trying to cater for like a specific audience? I mean, I've been reading comics since
demographic.
I think so. I think so. Maybe it was because they knew all, you know, us guys, us comic book nerds would be like into the show anyway. And how are we going to get our wives or our significant others to watch the show? Considering that, you know, maybe not all of them were fans. So I guess that's kind of a smart thing, but it's like for the whole first season, second season, it's like, dude, put a shirt on. You're making me uncomfortable.
But at the same time, all that work he goes to and you don't see it, it's just...
Yeah, but like, man, that was back in the days of 22 episode seasons.
Yeah.
I mean, just like, don't wear a shirt for half of that. And you still got 11 episodes.
Find a creative way to get the shirt torn off at least. You know, start with the shirt.
Exactly. Start with the shirt on. But every episode was him doing pull-ups on that thing with no shirt on. I'm like, oh, come on, man. Like, I've got no chance of having a six-pack, you know, and he's just making us look bad.
Yeah. There you go. Anyway, that was tangent number 1.
Yes.
So welcome to the show.
Number 1. We
do have icebreaker questions that we do because we like to. I think the best way to sell something is to sell the person as well, so to speak. So if we get to know you, then people will be like, "Man, I got to watch their movie." So Ryan, do you want to take it away?
Yes, sir. I am going first this time. So basically what I'm going to do, guys, is I'm going to set the scene for you because we just kept getting too many politically correct or political answers, you know, to these questions. So we encourage selfishness. We encourage selfish answers. So the world that we're currently living in is a world where there's no war. We've achieved world peace. There's no cruelty to people, to animals, that everyone is living a happy existence. There's no world hunger. Everyone has enough to eat. Everyone has enough money. It's almost perfect. Now, given that we live in that world, what is one thing that you would like to get rid of? Like pet peeve kind of thing.
All right, I'm going to say traffic because it doesn't matter if it's like a line. We go to a lot of conventions. It doesn't matter if you're stuck in a line for something. It doesn't matter if you're going 5 minutes down the road to go pick something up, like a coffee, or if you're trying to visit a family member. I don't care where you're going. Traffic just annoys the absolute hell out of me. And you can try and make peace with it. You can try and entertain yourself. You can try and let yourself know there's nothing that you can do. You may as well just be in a good mood, put on a podcast. But traffic is the absolute worst. So I'm gonna say traffic.
Yeah.
As someone who lives in Sydney,
yep,
I 100% agree. A few weeks ago, I had to go to Ryan's place for Dungeons and Dragons, and it normally takes me about an hour and 20 minutes to get there. But I have to pick up a friend on the way first. It takes me half an hour to get to my friend's place, but it took me an hour and 45 minutes to get to my friend's place because there was an air show on down near the RAF base or the planes, and the traffic was just
awful.
Yeah.
So I have to ask a question. In this utopia world,
yes,
are taxes a thing?
Nope, no one pays taxes. No one pays
No one
taxes.
pays taxes. Okay.
We don't
Okay,
have
we've
to
been-
pay taxes because the government has figured out a way to turn poop into renewable energy, and that way they use the money from that transformation process to fund all the hospitals, all the schools, all the roads and everything. So taxes don't exist.
So then you've now ruined my second answer to this question because I was going to say, no, well, it sounds like, the politicians are actually somewhat intelligent because my second answer was politicians in general. But if they've managed to do all of this, then I'm like, well, maybe they actually want to keep them. So I don't know.
I'd happily get rid of career politicians. I think they're
No,
half
but
the problems.
Jamie, in this world, to be a politician, you must have a genius level IQ and you must not be a complete asshat. So that's
the best world I've ever heard of. Talking step aside. This is
Perfect.
Well, so much for avoiding political answers, but
I feel like it's a universal political answer because it applies to everyone.
Yeah, it does. Think of the people. Think of the people. All right, okay. Let's move on to question number 2, which is what's something on your bucket list?
For me, I've got 2 giant things on my bucket list. One is I want to go to Warhammer HQ over in the UK. Like I've been a Warhammer player since I was I don't know, it was second edition. I was 5. I was way too young to get those things. Probably glued the arms on the heads, and it was a disaster. But it worked out to be an awesome lifelong hobby. And then the second one would be to go to Japan because I've always been a huge fan of anime, Japanese cinema. I have never been able to make the trip, and I would love to just kind of go and explore and basically see Mecca for anime.
Yeah,
all things samurai.
That's it.
Definitely.
Japan's
Definitely.
a popular answer. It really is.
Yeah, I'm gonna piggyback off him with Japan though, because we've talked about this so often, and now we've got a beautiful 6-month-old. So, travel's a little bit more difficult, but I'd love to eat and drink our way through Japan and then have a whole nother section where we're focused more on a whole anime tour, anime centric, everything to do with that. But visit old historic sites, go total foodie and sake, drown ourselves in sake, and then just go total anime hog wild. Let's have 3 different sections.
Yeah, I'm fine with that. We can, in this utopia world, I feel like we can afford to stay there for months, if not years.
Exactly.
And there will be no traffic either.
Yeah.
So
No.
it's like that.
And piggybacking off that, the government has also invented teleportation, so you can get there in 35 seconds max.
Amazing.
That's perfect.
Amazing.
And because the government aren't ass hats, they don't tax it, so it's free.
Exactly.
Perfect.
No more taking your shoes off in the security line for the teleporters. You're good to go.
Nope.
That's
Straight through, and you'll appear on the other side with all your body parts intact as well, because I know there's a teleportation issue sometimes, where the molecules don't line up correctly, but don't have to worry about that.
Yeah.
Perfect utopia. So at least it won't happen to us. Safe.
Exactly.
Excellent.
All right, for the next question, Jamie's going to bring up a visual aid, something that you guys, I'm sure, are familiar with living in the States. There we go. So good old Mount Rushmore. Good old Mount Rushmore. Now, keeping in mind, obviously, you've got, 4 famous presidents. If you had to create a Mount Rushmore of TV shows of all time, it could be early, old shows, new shows, doesn't matter what genre, doesn't matter where you can watch them. What would be on your Mount Rushmore of TV shows?
Okay, well,
I'll let you go first.
We got to start with Game of Thrones, and
that's one.
we can team up. It's okay because we
They can be overlap.
Okay.
we're gonna overlap because we watch like everything together.
Yeah,
So
minus the last season.
minus the last season. Sorry. Let's say in this perfect utopia, season 8 didn't exist. Game of Maybe we can go back in time and do that one over. Game of Thrones. I'm gonna throw out, might be controversial take. We're super big anime nerds, especially right now. I'm gonna put Attack on Titan up
Are you
there.
allowed to pick anime for this?
Yeah,
It's weird.
Yeah.
The
Oh,
show.
okay.
I'm putting Attack on Titan up there. I think it was super impactful, especially for anime. It started out so mysterious and so dramatic and with a bang the first episode, and more and more seasons go on, the more you find out about the world. It was insanely popular across the world. I'm going to Attack on Titan.
Man, okay.
Nice
So
choice.
I've put 2 out there.
no, I could fill out this thing with anime like in a heartbeat, but I want to also, you've already thrown out live action. I want to stay a little bit true to that. So I'll go with first I've got to put DBZ up there if we can do anime, because I grew up with that. That's like was my gateway drug to all of anime. So
Yeah.
that's like your George Washington. And then
Yeah.
the Abraham Lincoln, where the second half wasn't so good, I'd probably put That 70s Show, which I enjoyed thoroughly growing up. Like, so more of a comedy, again,
Yeah.
a little bit. Yeah.
That 70 show was awesome.
Yeah. Love that show. But the second half was great again, just like Lincoln's life. It ended abruptly.
Yes. Cool. So is that your joint one? So you're not gonna have some overriding? So we're just making sure we have to...
No, if I could, if we can go into more, I would throw out again.
Those are your runner-ups here.
Well, the thing is, it's so hard because it's not actually a good show, but it's a great story. Did a okay job with the show adaptation.
Yeah.
Berserk, 1997 adaptation, which was only partially complete, but I'm a huge Berserk fan, so it's like getting any part of that is absolutely fantastic. So, you?
I will rest with those. That sounds good. I was never huge into TV. Like I was obsessive. I think we were all like this. Like the second you get obsessive about a show, you binge watch it or you wait every single week to week. And the moment it's over, half the time I'm like, I could not tell you the characters' names like a week later. Especially with romance anime, I will admit I went down a deep hole with that. Like, and a lot of the plots are very similar. A lot of the tropes are very similar. You definitely forget all of their names in the moment, like a week later when you're on to the next one.
It's like me reading a book.
Exactly.
So, guys, if you'll excuse me for 1 second, I'll let Erin hold on to this. I've got to get a power cord because this utopia world didn't come with infinite power for my laptop.
That's all right. That's all right. That's all right.
What about you guys? What's your top 4? What's your Rushmore?
Oh, you can go first, Jamie.
Okay. No, I posted this the other week. Well, Scrubs, for starters. Love Scrubs. Except like Game of Thrones, not the last season.
Funny how that happens.
Yeah. Gallivant. Did you ever watch a show called Gallivant? It was 2016. It's only 18 episodes, but it's a medieval musical. Basically, it's Disney for adults. It's live action.
Awesome.
So if you remember when Tangled came out, they were going to do this show with Zachary Levi, but he couldn't do it because I think he was either doing Thor or another Chuck. And basically they wrote it for him, and it was Alan Menken doing all the music, and it was so funny.
Oh wow!
And like cameos from Ricky Gervais, cameos from
Weird Al.
Weird Al was in there. Kylie Minogue. It was the best show. I think it's on Disney Plus, but it's 18 episodes of pure gold. Then I'd say Stargate SG-1 because I grew up on that. And now the fourth is really hard because it's always just
fluctuate.
It's too many to put in there. I really like Sweet Tooth. I really like Chuck. I really like Psych. So, I mean, it's I can't name a fourth.
So essentially, you're cheating by saying there's 7.
Well, it depends on what day you ask me. The first 3 are locked in, but the last one's just ever changing. Maybe I'll go Daredevil. Daredevil, the first Daredevil.
You need to watch the latest one. Born Again is better than all the first 3 seasons.
I disagree.
Have you watched it?
No, but I disagree.
Then you can't disagree with me if you haven't watched it.
Yeah. No, look.
I'm the Marvel testing ground out of all of our friend group because after Endgame, these guys kind of fell off, whereas I'm the sucker that will still watch everything because I'm a completionist. So I will admit there have been rubbish movies, but this year it has been a lot better with Thunderbolts, which you like, Jamie,
Yeah, I like that.
Craven, which you liked. The new
Didn't
Captain
love.
America movie was better. Fantastic Four was great, and Daredevil Born Again was great. And yeah, look, it's getting better. It's getting better, but they won't listen to me. They don't listen to me because they don't broaden their horizons.
I'm just hanging out for my R-rated Ninja Turtle movie, which is coming.
Yeah, that'll
Oh,
come
I
out
haven't
in
done
like
it.
10 years.
Yeah, you know the latest comic, Last Ronin?
Yeah.
They're doing an R-rated movie. I'm pretty sure James Wan's directing it.
Oh my God, that's gonna be awesome.
And rumors is they're trying to get the OG April from the 1990s movie to come back as April.
Wow, that's gonna be epic.
I've been waiting for this my whole freaking life. Like, I'm born the same year as the Ninja Turtles, and I've loved them my entire life.
And a rated R movie for Ninja Turtles is so much more in line with how the series started for like an underground comic, which is like, I mean, as a kid growing up in the 90s, I appreciated the fact that it was accessible to me. I wasn't going to be allowed to watch a rated R movie back then, but after I learned about the history, I was like, oh man, that would be. I mean, look, they're swinging swords around and throwing, side.
Exactly.
Like you expect there to be a little bit of blood spray.
Yeah.
Exactly. And that's how I think, don't quote me, I think the IDW series for comics of the Ninja Turtles was one of the earliest. Oh, not really. No, because the cartoons came before it. But the IDW comic series is spot on of how it should be because it is quite violent. It is, but it's not overly violent where it's like gore everywhere. But it's probably the best telling of the stories in my opinion. But I'm not obsessed as Jamie is about Ninja Turtles.
Well, in the 2003 cartoon series, they cut someone from head to toe.
Okay.
And they split in half. So that happened.
Very berserk of them.
Yeah. I think they were a magical being or something. So there wasn't blood going. Not like your movie where blood's just going. Ryan, do you want to quickly do your Mount Rushmore things we were asked, and it's polite?
Oh, sure. I can do it quite easily. Supernatural, The Haunting of Hill House. I'm kind of I love Mike Flanagan, so the third is kind of a tie between The Haunting of Bly Manor and Midnight Mass, which are two of his good horror ones, and Ted Lasso. So I've got like four horrors, and Ted Lasso.
I didn't think of Ted. See, this is my problem with people. I'm like, I forget him.
Yeah.
I was even thinking about. I was like, Californication. I should have said something about Californication.
Yeah.
We've rewatched Ted Lasso so many times, and we've also introduced so many people to that show.
Oh
They're always like,
so good.
no, I've seen a preview. It looks okay. And we're like, no, you don't understand.
Brilliant.
Apple TV is a bunch of bangers. Like their TV show is really good.
Yeah.
The
thing, Ted Lasso thing that stuck with me the most always is the dart game, in the first season where he's playing darts and he's playing it like opposite handers. And then he's just like, you're going like, oh, I love it.
Boy, like Lasso, we already knew you were badass, but now you're like just extra bad. You proved it.
That's because I follow Bill Lawrence everywhere. I love Bill Lawrence. He's just a brilliant. Like I write books, and his writing style is incredibly influenced in mine, even though it's like a different format. But I follow him everywhere.
That's awesome.
Yeah, he's had Apple TV, I think just because they have a gazillion dollars, they can get good stars and good directors, and because I agree. Apple TV, I've watched Shrinking, which is great with what's his name?
Marshall
the
from
Marshall from How I Met Your Mother, Jason something. I was going to say
Siegel?
Sudeikis, but that Siegel, that's it, Jason Siegel, and Harrison Ford. That's awesome. I've only just started watching Severance, and that's pretty good as well. It's just there's so many good shows. My wife loved Chief of War with Jason Momoa.
Us too.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just so many good shows coming from Apple TV,
Have you
and I
seen
think that's
Silo or
so.
your friends and neighbors? Silo or your friends and neighbors are two other great
Silo,
ones.
I have seen. I think I watched the first couple. That's the sort of post-apocalyptic, futuristic one where they live in missile silos, don't they?
Yes.
I think I've
Exactly.
seen a few episodes of that. That was pretty good. I enjoyed
Mm.
that.
Yeah.
Definitely
Good one.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
awesome.
And your friends and neighbors just came out. It's the guy John Hamm from Mad Men.
Oh, okay. Yep, yep.
John Hamm.
Yeah. I won't give anything away with that one
Yeah.
but it's definitely worth a watch.
Going
Yeah.
blind. It's
Okay.
good.
All right.
Awesome.
I'm gonna add it to my list right now.
All right. Let's move on to something super topical, and I really hope you thought about this because our next question is, what is your zombie apocalypse plan?
Follow Kyle.
Oh, God.
We will be hidden somewhere safe. Kyle, you can go ahead and gather the weapons and be the front line of defense.
I've got my answer here. So first and foremost, you got to survive. Okay.
Mhm.
The first, month, 2 months, it's critical that you wait for the chaos to kind of blow over. You want to stay hunkered down, try to save your resources, don't venture out too far. If you're in a heavily populated area, a lot of people, I think, would try to get out. Don't get out.
Yeah.
Stay where you are because everyone's going to be trying to do that. And half of them are going to turn.
There are people fighting zombies, pure chaos.
Yeah.
Yes. Stay put, keep your resources close, wait for most of the people to turn into zombies. Now, this is the hard part. Now, you go about a couple days without water, right? A couple weeks without food. You're going to need to get through the waiting period of waiting for these zombies to at least become malnourished. So you got to wait for enough, regular people to die off where it's a majority zombies. And now you've got to wait for those zombies to weaken enough where you can move around safely. As soon as you can move around safely, resource collection. Once you're able to get to a safer area, start picking up people on your way if you can, survivors, and that's when the fun starts because then you got to rebuild society by yourself in a shanty town and reuse technology and everything else. And if anyone's wondering, well, what happens with water, right? That's the biggest concern. Where do I get water from? Do I put buckets on the roof or anything like that? You don't need to do anything like that. You don't need to buy the MREs or anything else. Buy a humidifier and just turn the humidifier on. Boom. Potable drinking water. Just boil it and you've got enough. Just pull it right out of the air.
Electricity's out.
Get a generator.
Are we pulling up every survivor? Like, are we
No,
having bleeding?
only-
It's like, do we
no.
make them strip down to make sure that no one has bites? Because you can't really. They're saying.
Listen, you test them however you want. I won't go into details. Feel free to probe at your own discretion, but ensure they're not affected. And if they are an asshole, you do not collect. You leave them. Do their own
Leave
thing.
them be.
You only take the good people. Otherwise, you're
I
doomed.
like that.
The moment that person decides that they want to let their selfish decisions override what's best for the group, you're all screwed. So you're saving everyone
How
else
it
by
always
not helping them.
happens, right? It's that one.
It really does. There's always any zombie movie, zombie show, there's always that one prick that just destroys everyone's chance. Like everyone's living calmly, they're living, some sort of reasonable life. And then some douchebag just decides I'm just going to go outside, nothing's going to attack me, and then get bitten, and then goes, I'm just going to hide my bite, and then come back in and get attacked.
And it's like the Burke character from Aliens. It's like all the problems solves nothing, creates all the problems.
Exactly. But I would have also accepted an answer to that question for you just saying, watch my movie. I would have accepted that answer.
Yeah.
Start collecting katanas.
Yeah.
Yes.
Step 2. Hunker down with any
I've got my time machine here in our utopia world. Yeah, so the way you survive a zombie apocalypse is you watch our film and it gives you all of the tools to survive.
There you go. See,
Well,
that is the correct answer.
that's what our last guest did because his book was basically his
Yeah.
zombie apocalypse plan. Um, so he said, "Buy my book."
Yeah.
So that's two really in-depth answers we've had to that question. So
I like it. Sounds like you definitely have given that a lot of thought.
Oh yeah, no, well, we've had, we've got the first movie, but I've gotten the volumes written up to 5 and the story completed
wow.
up to 10. So I'm like,
Oh wow.
I really had to think very specifically because I like there to be enough reality. Like I'm happy to rely on fantasy, like the fanciful notion that the politicians will all turn intelligent, which amazing. But I try to ground things in reality as much as possible, and I want it to be, it just makes the threats feel more real when you have
Yeah.
like only a couple elements that are total oddballs and everything else is, manageable or doable. So I'm kind of a gearhead too, so I kind of like get into the engineering side of, how would this machine kind of work with that machine. I don't know how this machine works though. This is a total mystery.
I think she's a little hot. I'm gonna pop out for a second and give her a little bit of a break. I'll be back. Please
No
carry on
worries.
without me. I'm sorry. Oh, it's okay.
So definitely, if you're in a zombie apocalypse, try not to get anyone pregnant because that would be a
Yeah.
problem until you've got a society
But you need to
developed.
repopulate as well.
Yeah, wait till you find a doctor and you've got a shanty town built.
Yeah. Not a zombie apocalypse, but a quiet place told us that.
Yeah.
That's right. Yeah. Very, very prevalent. It's not going to be quiet with babies, that's for sure.
Oh.
I'm actually surprised how long they were able to keep it as quiet as they did, having had one. First seeing the movie, I didn't have any kids.
Yeah.
Now I'm like, I want it to last 30 seconds. I'll be done.
Yeah. Yeah.
I like it. I like it. All right. Question number 5. Speaking of time machine, are you familiar with two bodacious time travelers named Bill and Ted?
I am indeed.
We had to start asking that question because we realized that we had more than a few people we've said, "Oh, are you familiar?" Like, "Oh, Bill and Ted," and they're like, "Who?" I'm like, "Oh, okay." We're showing our age a little bit, so we do have to ask that question to make sure that everyone is aware
On
of
board.
Bill and
Yeah.
Ted.
Understandable.
Awesome.
Now, I
So
wonder
Bill and Ted, yeah.
did you ever get anyone who asked you like Rick and Morty?
Oh, we're going to have to start changing it, I think.
Yeah.
The older we get, the longer we do this podcast, we're going to have to start changing it to Rick and
No,
Morty.
we require people to do research, and then they will go watch classic cinema.
Awesome. All right. Well, Bill and Ted / Rick and Morty for the younger people arrive outside your house in their phone booth time machine, and they say, "Whoa, dude, Rufus has asked us to give you a ride in our phone booth time machine. Where are you going?"
How am I equipped on this adventure?
Well,
Okay, so with
they just
Bill and
rock up.
Ted, yeah, they just ignore all effects to the time-space continuum. So there's none of this whole butterfly effect kind of thing where you go
No,
to go to the park and
Well, you could look
Can I bring? No, I just wanted to know if I could bring a weapon with me. That's all.
Yeah.
So
if it can fit in a phone booth, then it's fair game.
fantastic. So I would then go to. I would love to see what it was like to see Genghis Khan's rule, and visit that part of time. Just kind of see how that whole empire was built. But I had to ask the qualifying question because unless I could bring like a machine gun or something, I would not want to go back there.
You wouldn't survive. Yeah.
No.
No, definitely. I think as long as you can fit it in the time machine with you and Bill and Ted, I think that would be fine.
Yeah.
And I'm pretty sure you could fit like an automatic or semi-automatic weapon in the time machine.
See, and if I couldn't do that, I would say the 1920s France during the artistic kind of revolution and like kind of have a bottle of champagne with Hemingway and see what everyone was up to back then.
Okay.
Cool.
I like it.
Cool.
I could qualify as Erin's answer since she's not here. That's more poetic.
Well, we can ask her when she comes back, but for now, the icebreakers are done. So let's move on to the reason you're here. Now, me and Ryan have watched your movie, but for those who
Yes.
don't know what it is, like pitch us, give us a pitch. What's it about?
Well, ZombieCon Volume 1 is about a group of four cosplaying best friends who unintentionally unleash a zombie apocalypse by turning every asshole in the world into a zombie. And they're forced to find a way to survive and run across LA to save a loved one.
That's
I
awesome.
like it. I like it. Jamie watched it before I did, and I watched it, I think, this past Sunday, so a few days ago, because I watch that many movies. My memory is not 100% great, so I like to watch it close to where we're talking. And I like it because it's something that I don't, and I've seen a lot of zombie movies. It's something that I don't recall ever happening before
Hmm.
in any zombie movie, of how the zombies are actually, how they're brought into the world. How did you come up with that idea?
It was just a trying to merge kind of a zombie movie with a bit of anime and
Mhm.
create kind of like a mystical element, and then trying to be like, well, what is both realistic for this character in that moment, but is also something that everyone could kind of relate to.
Mhm.
And those two things kind of, merged at the intersection of kill assholes. I feel like everyone knows an asshole, and they would never want to kill them because that's just a bit above, like that's a
Hmm.
bit beyond going. It's kind of blowing the scope a little bit.
Yeah.
But if they were a zombie and you were forced to kill them to survive, well, then you might take a little pleasure in doing it. It wouldn't just be a survival thing. So,
Yeah.
I like it. I like it. It was something I didn't see coming. Where are we talking spoilers, Jamie?
We can if you want, unless you want to be broad and do a spoiler at the end, towards the end, to give people
Yeah,
a.
let's do that. Let's do that. Let's
Because
do
we,
that.
we, we
Okay.
do we do have a habit of just going, "What's this? What happened? What?" No.
Yeah,
I
okay.
tell
Well, we can do that.
I'm
We can
happy
do
you
it.
said that. I'm terrible at just talking about everything and not realizing I've spoiled now the entire
Yeah,
movie. So happy that no spoilers right now.
yeah.
Okay, cool.
But for now,
Awesome.
for now, um, yeah. So how'd you go about like casting and that? Like, did you kind of like get a whole lot of people together that you kind of wanted to do it with and build it around them, or were you like, these are the characters, let's find them?
So the main four characters were actually friends of ours. Punky, Javier, Claire is obviously my wife, so we had been in a relationship, so that was an easy casting choice. And Javier and Punky I had known from acting school when I first got to LA, and we
Mhm.
worked on a bunch of web series and like some short films and stuff. So they were obvious shoo-ins for like a super low budget film. You want to work with friends, people you trust
Yeah,
and have camaraderie with, and are willing to kind of work the crazy hours that we needed to
yeah.
work around in order to get it done. In terms of Manny Luke, who plays Rocket, he was actually a newer addition. He was an intern for our production company who, within a year, became part of the production company. And looking for the fourth star, was like, okay, this is a perfect choice for that. In terms of the rest of the film, it was all like a generic casting process in
Yeah.
LA, book space. Erin actually was the casting director on the film, so
Right.
she held legit casting sessions. She'd send me headshots, and I basically deferred to her judgment because it's really a feelings based thing at that point. So many people can look like a role and all this other stuff, but a
Yeah.
lot of casting is just finding people who aren't going to be kind of crazy on set or
Mm.
disruptive, and find people who are good at working within a team,
Yeah.
especially
Yeah.
with an indie film where you're around each other the entire time. It's a high stress environment, long hours. You need people who are good people really to
Yeah.
play all the roles. So we got
Yeah.
very lucky
Yeah.
because of her work, and yeah.
Well, I think you nailed it because they to me from the get-go they look like cosplayers. Like they looked
Yeah.
like you had that vibe, you had that feel of,
Well, yeah, the con scene actually, that was actually most of the actors in that scene, in the convention scene,
Mm.
were actual cosplayers from around
Oh,
LA.
cool.
Aaron put out a casting call, and she's like, I think we can get like real cosplayers who want to be in a movie. And I'm like, that's
Mm.
fantastic because we can't afford these costumes in the budget.
Yeah.
And it worked out perfectly. And they were fantastic. And luckily, we were showing the film at like conventions and stuff. After that, LA Comic Con, we did a couple screenings there in Anime Expo. And it was so great. It was like a family reunion each convention. Everyone,
Oh,
like a
wow.
lot of people who worked in the film would come by. We had like an exhibitor booth and we all get a chat and catch up. And especially all the people that worked on the film, we'd go out to like an Italian dinner
Mm.
afterwards and like have a big family style dinner where everyone got too sloppy drunk and just having a time remembering all the war stories of making the film. So, welcome back.
I'm
Welcome
back.
back. We're back.
Oh, those Italian dinners are the best. Reliving the good days, making new memories.
mm. Cool.
That's well, not only what Jamie was saying, how it felt like, obviously you've explained in the con scene, had real like cosplayers, but it felt like the main cast were really good cosplay as well. But what I got, it actually felt like you guys, or the main cast, the main four, were friends. You could tell they could, they had that vibe and could play off each other. So it makes sense that you were saying that Punky and Javier, you went through film school with and back from the LA days. I'm pretty sure that was cool having, some people that you grew up or not grew up with, but like went through school with and were able to offer them the chance to be in this movie.
Yeah, it was fantastic. I mean, not just from a directorial point of view, but also from like a writing point of view. You know these people so
Yeah.
well that and we've especially because we had worked on so many shorter films and independent web series and stuff. You develop a shorthand, which also makes directing easy, but you kind of have an idea of what kind of character this person, well, at least in my mind, right? This is all, yeah, I'm sure anyone else could have any number of opinions about what they could or could not be. But I've got archetypes built up in my mind, which you see in the characters that they, play on screen. So like Punky to me is like my Vasquez, like, ideal character. Like, in any movie she's in, I'm like, this is like the badass who's going to kind of take charge when things hit the fan, shit hits the fan and all this stuff.
Yeah.
Christian is kind of like, he's the muscly nice guy, right? Like he's the dirty, but he's also got a heart of gold. So he's just kind of, the insides aren't necessarily what would be reflected on the outside. Where I think a lot of people, if you just saw him, he could look like a smug kind of show-offy type of guy. But I know he's a teddy bear inside, so I'm like gonna put that in there.
And Manny plays Rocket was like totally different, obviously,
Oh,
more
yeah.
than his character. Like literally, it was the funniest thing ever when he was prepping to play Rocket because it's the opposite. He's the nicest guy. He never gets upset about anything. He's a total team player. And then
Yeah.
Rocket's just constantly grumbling and moaning and flying off the handle.
Oh yeah, he's unnervingly nice in real life.
Yeah.
Like he is so nice. He's like, is there an ulterior motive that I'm not seeing here? Like that's deep, secretly deep. No, he's just really that nice. It's like, wow, I didn't know people like you existed. That's fantastic.
That reminds me of Hugh Jackman and Wolverine. He took him forever because he's never angry. He couldn't do angry. He's just like the nicest guy you've ever met, and he's just like, how do I be angry? And then he found his niche,
Dude, he killed that role. I actually just watched like a couple nights ago Under the Covers. I was watching because baby, can't watch things on the actual. I was rewatching Deadpool and Wolverine, and I was like, man. I mean, Ryan Reynolds is great. Don't get me wrong, but I was watching Hugh Jackman especially, and I was like, man, he is so freaking good. Like, there's a joke in the movie where Ryan Reynolds like, they'll have you doing this until you're 90. I'm like, that's fine with me. I'd love to see it.
I love your old Hugh Jackman still kicking ass as Wolverine.
Yeah, and then and then he puts the claws down and he goes off and does Broadway. It's just he does everything.
Crazy talented.
Yeah.
I heard that he did so he started, I guess this is something I just saw on YouTube actually. He does something on set where it's like Lotto Fridays, where he didn't like these big sets. He was used to working in like smaller cinema. He gets on these Marvel stuff and he didn't know who the lighting guy was. He didn't know who the gaffers were. He wanted to get to know everyone because it's more comfortable, I guess, as an actor or whatever. So he started buying lottery tickets and handing them out to the entire crew on each Friday. And that became, I guess, a bit of his own tradition.
Wow.
And at this point now, even if he's not being called in on, Friday, the ADs will make sure he's penciled in to come in on Friday, even if he has nothing to shoot. So everyone.
So I got a good story to go with this. My first movie that I was on, first like big feature film, was called Bobby Jones' Stroke of Genius, and they had on every single Friday. The cast and crew, but mostly crew, would pin in however much they wanted. It was always $1 bills, and you write your name on it. And there'd be a big drawing at the end of the day. Whoever, draws it wins the pot if your name is drawn. And so it's my literal first day on set, and I'm this like adorable little 9-year-old who knows nothing. And someone's like, "Oh, you're like, why don't we bring you up and you draw the winner?" And I'm like, "Okay." So I put my dollar in, whatever. They shake it all up. I reach in and I go, and the winner is me. I swear, everyone didn't think I was this cute little girl anymore. There was a lot of grumbling. It was like revolution was about to happen in the crew. Like, that's this little girl.
That's awesome.
It was great. It was like $400 or something. I was like, this is probably more than I'm getting paid today.
Yeah,
that's
great. The 90s too.
That's I put that in my bank account. I was like, all right.
Bring it to Australia and it's like $700.
There you go.
Oh, cool. I just lost my train of thought. Choo choo. Yeah. When you were writing it, like, were you writing it knowing it was going to be a lower budget? Like, were the things that you wanted to put into it that, like, for example, hordes? Were hordes ever in a thing you thought about?
So I did think about a horde for one scene specifically because it was the tunnel sequence, and I thought we could use lower light. We didn't need to probably go super extensive with the makeup, but it's just the logistical challenge of having such a small crew. And then having that many extras that would just need to go through makeups, that it was just like.
I remember you wanted it for the park scene as well, because I remember sitting in the casting and yeah, you wanted for the park scene for there to be like a slight hill and for Hugh Tord to be running over the hill coming at our cast. I remember thinking, oh my God, gotta cast so many.
And so that was, so I guess 2 hordes did come and go, but generally speaking, we knew the budget was going to be low.
Yeah.
We actually had a bigger budget than we thought we're going to get. So we ended up with 60,000. I thought we'd probably get like 10 or 20,000. So we did get to do a lot of stuff that we didn't know we would get to do. But we were also in our 20s with a lot of like youthful energy and passion and,
know what we didn't know at the time as well. Blind faith and courage.
Yeah. But we did work around like specific locations, like the apartments. The Rockets apartment was our apartment. So we knew that we had a location for free and we could base a lot of the movie there and limit location costs and, have the makeup area right there and have control of the set. And then the end of the movie, I don't want to give anything away, but the location at the end of the movie was actually owned by the parents of Javier.
Oh wow!
So
that was cool.
Yep.
Kind of thing.
They let us come in and properly trash the place for a couple days and put everything most back. Yeah.
So this isn't really a spoiler because I think it's in the trailer. But does that mean that if it was at your apartment, did you stab your own couch or did you bring in?
Oh yeah, we stabbed that couch. That couch was torched.
Yeah, it had that couch for years and years and years. And if you can see it in the trailer, right? It's like that fake leather where it just starts to peel off. I had a beautiful dog at the time. She has since passed away, but she lived like 17 years with me, and she was very big, and she just would tear up that couch, and like that fake leather stood no chance whatsoever, and it started peeling and crusting.
The couch had seen many better days way before ZombieCon ever shot.
And we were talking about like, well, we need to get rid of it. Like, it's getting everywhere. Literally, these red specks of fake leather are showing up, like in our clothes, like even through the washer and dryer.
Nasty.
Like it's literally everywhere. And I was like, wait, we can use this for the movie, and we could destroy it. Because it's already destroyed, we're already getting
production value. And
then because we did it for reshoots, we ended up keeping it for like another 2 years.
Oh, we
Because I was going to say you could claim it on tax as a working expense. There you
He had
go.
one of those cushions that he put in a trash bag, and it was still covered in fake blood and everything. And it was sitting in our downstairs, what used to be a bedroom, then turned into a storage room for all our production stuff. But literally, this giant trash bag with the last remaining cushion from the couch, just in case we needed the reshoot.
Yeah, I held on to that until we moved because like, there's no way we're gonna be able to match this couch if we need to have a cushion for anything.
That couch definitely. Need to bring that cushion with us in a zombie apocalypse because it survived more than most humans would.
No, I when I saw that couch and I thought it reminds me. I think every person around mine and Jamie's age, like we're just in our very very early 40s, and I think we all grew up with a couch like that looked exactly like that had been in the family for 15 20 years, had bits peeling off it. It was put in like a side room, not in the main lounge living room. But when I saw that, I thought, yep, that couch is going to survive. And you know why? Because they don't make them like that anymore. And I swear we have in our house a couch that is at least 26 years old, and it looks like it's probably about 10 years old because they last those things.
Yep.
They can last a zombie apocalypse. They can last a dog spending 17 years of its life ripping pieces off slowly but surely. But they last. And nowadays if you try, like you said, you couldn't replace that because you wouldn't find one that would look like it, and two, you wouldn't find one that could survive a samurai sword. Sure.
We did have that was one of the most fun parts of ZombieCon.
Yeah, because they're without giving anything away, right? There's a practice. Like, everyone knows it's a movie, right? So it's actually like I know it's crazy. It actually kill anyone.
There was no method actors, you mean?
Yeah, we had a few method stunt doubles. It didn't end well for them, but but we did have to actually like impale the couch. Obviously, no actor present, and I got to do that. I was just like,
I don't know if you guys might have not seen this, but there was a horror movie, but I think it came out not long ago. It was a movie called The Killer Sofa. Came out in 2019, and it was a really really bad B grade movie that had literally a couch that had fangs and like big red eyes. And I just picture that was one of those couches from that era because they just you would stab it like you would stab your one in the movie, and it'd be like, yeah, what? Let's go. But I remember watching that movie was so bad it was good. Like we're talking, like I reckon the budget must have been like $5,000, $6,000 or something like that because I think there was two actors in the whole movie. And the puppetry behind the couch was just it was unique. It was unique. But see, I'm one of those people I have never seen a bad horror movie. I love all horror. I love the B grade stuff. I love the top of the range stuff. I will watch anything and everything. So that's why I got very excited when Jamie mentioned that you guys were coming on. And then I was like, how do I watch the movie? And he's like, well, here, I have a link. I'm like, brilliant. I really appreciate you guys letting us watch it because it was a really good movie. And what I wanted to talk about as well is it makes sense now that we asked you that TV show question because I was going to ask you about the music selection for the movie. And now that you've mentioned that you're anime fans, it makes sense because to me, that kind of music was sort of like punk rock, rock kind of music you can see behind any intro to any anime, and it works perfectly. So was that sort of an idea behind, the soundtrack for the movie?
Absolutely. So my dad actually was the composer for the film, and he wrote the original song, the ZombieCon song.
Hmm.
And I only gave him one note. I was like, make it like an anime opening. And then I sent him a whole bunch of anime opening songs. And I was like this and make it epic.
Oh, and I'm pretty sure you told him, oh, and I need this in like 2 days.
Probably. And then he found a band to fill out the rest of the songs, right? He had done the regular score and all theatrical, with just like instruments and stuff. But then we needed to get more kind of rock music pushed into the film. And he found that band, Monday's Mona Lisa, that was a Florida-based band at the time. And we licensed a bunch of their songs, and they're the ones who actually performed the ZombieCon theme song.
Okay.
And that stuff was just fantastic, and it fit the theme so well, and it matched the ZombieCon theme song so well. And then we actually had licensed more songs than we could even use. If you watch the credits all the way through, there's a song called Demon
Oh, good.
that I tried to find a way to work into the film. It's really hard to layer songs with dialogue over
Yeah.
dialogue and action unless there's a really specific purpose for it. And I didn't have full control over the audio tracks. Like I didn't have the vocals parts of the song plus the instrumental song, which I could have then augmented the vocals down and pushed the actor up at different points. So because I didn't have that control, I had to just nix it. But we did add it to the credits, and the song's message is so titularly connected to the kind of story of the movie, where it's about it's a demon inside, and you've got to kind of make a choice between yourself and how you see yourself and how you're going to kind of overcome something that, without spoiling anything, it
was meant to be.
Yeah.
It was meant to be.
Me and Jamie were both in punk bands growing up, and that's how we met. Because our bands used to play a lot of shows together, and that I got into anime a little bit later, so around about my mid to late 20s. So I've been into anime for quite a while, a lot more of the horror stuff like Attack on Titan, Death Note, all that kind of thing. And the cool stuff like My Hero Academia. Obviously, I grew up on DVD as well. But yeah, I heard it. I'm like, that's a kick-ass punk rock song, and I'm like, that would make a really good intro to 90% of the animes that I watch. And then when you mentioned that you were big anime fans, I'm like, okay, that makes sense now. It's why you've chosen that. Because I could definitely see, if obviously anything like out of ZombieCon was made into an anime, that those songs, you wouldn't need to change anything. You could put them straight in. 100%. Every song I heard on that movie was fantastic. So, props to that band. What were they called again? Just so I can.
Monday's Mona Lisa.
Okay, Monday's Mona Lisa. Perfect.
Monday with an apostrophe. Monday's Mona Lisa.
Okay.
Yeah. So
awesome.
Mona Lisa belongs to Monday.
Yes, exactly.
Cool.
I'm a huge grammar nerd. I honestly debated it after I'd said my biggest pet peeve. I was like, shit, I should have said the your and your. I hate when people use the wrong your.
Yeah.
You could have done apostrophe RE, and then you're an asshole if you try and correct them.
Yeah.
It seems like you know it all, but it also is it bothers me almost like a completionist with TV. I'm just like, I don't want to let that one go. That would be another one of my pet peeves.
She spell checks all of my emails before I'm allowed to send them.
So does that mean when it comes to screenwriting, is everyone speaking proper English? Sometimes people say gonna or they have slangs. Does that mean you just write proper English?
Let those go. Yep.
Yeah.
Let those go. Although I will say, I'm a little ashamed to admit, sometimes it was getting me while I wanted to. Let me just get it a little bit. Nope. Hold myself back.
I'm the same. A lot of people think us Australians, we talk with a lot of slang, and generally as a race we do. But my pet peeve is you need to know how to spell if you're going to be a writer. And Jamie will know the only feedback, because I'm an ARC reader for all these books. I read all of these books generally before they come out. And the only feedback I have is you spelt this wrong, you spelt this wrong. You spelt this wrong here, and he'll go, yep, and then type it in and fix it up. That's pretty much the only feedback I have, but I am a spelling and grammar Nazi.
But it's more so, I'm writing 76,000 words. I miss a word.
Of course. And that's what I'm here for. But
Exactly.
yeah, I
Everyone
can.
needs that friend to come in and just be like, let me
Yeah.
just now sit here like with a little lawnmower and just give some
Mhm.
little trims to the,
Yeah.
spelling. And
Yeah,
of course,
you've edited how many books now? You've edited about 10 or 12
maybe like
books?
10. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh
I
wow.
applied the skills. I couldn't help myself.
Yeah.
It's fun. It's kind of
Yeah.
like going on like a hunt and search and destroy,
Yeah.
and then I am constantly Googling things that I don't remember, different, grammatical rules and
Yeah.
different with literary, like, okay, wait, shit, what was this?
Mm.
And I'll do a mix of Googling and pulling out old trusted other copies of books and seeing how they did
Yeah.
it. And then I'll learn. And I am a huge nerd in that way too.
Yeah.
Oh, in doing it for Jamie, obviously I do it before his books are published. But I find myself now, because we do this podcast, we've done it for like 4 or 5 years. I'm reading a lot more independent stuff, which is great. It's all awesome. But I'm finding that when I'm reading a book from an author that we've had on the podcast and I find a spelling mistake, I'm messaging them and going like a good friend of our show, John Campbell, great horror writer, fantastic horror writer. In his latest book, his latest novella, it's called Fright Manifest. And I found a couple of spelling mistakes and I sent him a message and he goes, I need you to be my ARC reader because the book's already published and I can't change it now,
Well, you
but I
can.
see what you're saying.
Yeah.
Oh, well, he goes, people have already bought it. No one said
Yeah.
anything about it. I'm like, well, I mean, I can do this for you if you want me to, but
I
I
know.
hope no one finds it annoying.
I literally have a book that's about like screenwriting, screen formatting, and maybe I'm wrong. I was like, studying that thing like a Bible, but I'm fairly certain that I found a typo in there, and I
Mm.
this close to
Yeah.
writing the author, and I was just like, do not be that person. I
Yeah.
don't know this person at all.
Yeah.
Like it was not
Mhm.
related.
Stephen King.
I'm like, don't do it. Don't do it.
Well, it's
But
it's well, they say that like mistakes still get into traditionally published books, and
yeah,
all my stuff I can fix it. Like if someone finds out something's
yeah.
wrong, then I can just go to Amazon or Ingram Spark and just re-upload it, and anyone that buys a new one, it'll be fixed. With a
Mhm.
traditional publisher, they won't do that. They go, oh well.
It's the same way in filmmaking too. Like no matter
Mm,
how many people, like there will be things that slip through. Isn't the famous
yeah.
one with B part, or is it
Mhm.
another
No,
one?
the
Is it
Patriot. So
the Patriot?
in the Patriot, one of the battle scenes, there's a if you look into the distance, there's like a Volkswagen Beetle or something that drives by behind British soldiers.
I love them. I say they're getting less and less
Yeah.
mistakes now. Like because I used to love watching extras because extras back in the day they weren't acting, they were just there to be, you know? Um
Right.
and it's so fun. I think one of my favorite ones is in The Last Samurai, there's a scene where the horse, I think Tom Cruise rides along in front of the army, and then the horse just it kicks someone in the crotch, essentially.
Oh.
And it's there forever. Like if you watch it when he rides up, like you just see this guy go, it is the funniest thing.
We love that movie. We need to go and see
Yeah, I
that.
have to. Yeah, no, I have to
Yeah.
see that.
You,
It's
you,
one of
you
my
will,
it's like one of my favorite movies.
you will never unsee it.
Well, now that you've mentioned that about the Patriot, I'm not a massive, I don't like war movies at all, but the Patriot is one that I will watch
Hmm.
over and over again. And I have never seen that, so I'm going to go
Yeah.
back and watch that and keep an eye out for it.
Yeah.
And then I'm never going to be able to unsee it ever again.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I agree with you. That one.
I would definitely look it up online and find out where it is because
I will.
I've looked for it myself and I went back twice through the movie and I couldn't find it. I had to
Them-
find out exactly where it was. It's so well hidden back there, but it is in fact there.
Yeah, there's
Oh,
also one in
wow.
Harry Potter Chamber of Secrets, and I've seen that movie. I've seen all the Harry Potter movies, insane amounts. But there was a YouTube clip, and it singled it out. There's like a camera guy you can just barely see, but he is in the crowd during a lesson when Snape gets up there with Gilderoy Lockhart, and they're like teaching the students how to duel. And you literally see the camera guy in the
Yeah.
crowd.
That was
Not blending in, but I had never noticed it. These things slip in.
that was when 1990s Ninja Turtles went widescreen, and you could see a cameraman hiding behind a table, but like all of him. It's just like, it's not even
Oh,
talk.
wow.
I love it. I love it.
And it happened in ZombieCon. A lot of edits went by until finally
Oh my
Kyle's
God.
like, all right, now I see it. We've got was it Edwin or Thor?
No, we in a couple of the scenes, like especially in that first, moment where we find the zombie and like the couch
Yeah.
moment. That's what we
Yeah.
call it. So
Mhm.
in the couch moment, we had such a tight set, and there, we've got equipment behind us. So every time the camera is pointing in one direction, we've already done like, a shuffle to move all of the extra equipment and boxes
Mhm.
behind us. And the crew is trying to move around and we've got lighting. And I had a rig. So I was moving with the camera like fluidly through this set that you should not have been doing it in, and I'm spinning around so fast that the other crew, the two other guys on the crew, are sprinting to get out in front of the camera. So as the camera is tracking left, like they're moving and jumping over like a side of the couch, like ducking down, like behind a table. Yeah.
Mm.
And the one scene that I really wanted to use, they like fly over the back of the couch and like jump to the side behind a table, and they're in the shot. And I'm like, but that's our shot. We got to use it. So Manny, one of the VFX was like, I was like, Manny, you just need to make them disappear. And so he spent probably like 2 months like rotoscoping and taking out and stitching pieces of the set, and did a beautiful job because they're
Yeah.
gone.
No,
You
I
can't
very,
could
see them.
never
very
have told.
nice.
No, yeah, I couldn't tell at all. Oh
These
wow,
were not
that's.
small guys either, like flying over.
Yeah.
So when you guys started shooting, how long did it actually take for you guys to go from pre-production to having a complete film ready to go?
So the principal photography took about 30 days,
Okay.
with about like 2 off days. And then we languished in post-production for an exhaustive period of time. It was like 10,
Basically
9 years. And that was
All
a
right.
combination of, me having to learn everything on the fly because we didn't have money to hire people to do all the post-production stuff. So
thing really at all for post.
right. So I had to teach myself everything, and Manny was learning a lot of the VFX stuff. So he was individually rotoscoping the eyes on the zombies and, recutting it. The audio was the biggest kind of problem. It was the most difficult part of the process that I had very limited kind of knowledge about prior to. And I kind of
Mhm.
thought, this will be easy. You know, you'll be able to hear most difficult part of the entire process. More difficult than shooting it was the audio, especially because we had one boom operator on set, and he was a good friend of mine. It was his first time ever holding a boom pole,
Oh wow.
and
Kyle showed him the day before. He's like, "Yeah, so here's a YouTube tutorial. You got it. No pressure."
Oh wow.
so a lot of ADR went into it, but also a lot of me just cleaning up the dialogue, which it's amazing the tools that you have available. I had no idea at the time, but that took a while. And then I'd say we got a finished copy, a little bit before COVID, but it really wasn't where it is now. It was kind of a totally different cut. I was still filming insert shots because I had purchased the camera with our $60,000 that we had for a budget. I figured we would need pickup shots, so we kept filming little things throughout. And when COVID hit, we got like a month into COVID, and I was like, well, I mean, might as well rip the whole thing apart again. I've got the time. We're just going to be sitting here for God knows how long. Like, so tore it apart and basically started back from scratch and re-edited the whole thing. And 2 years, 3 years after that, it was like finally its complete version of what it is today. But I'd say a lot of that was a learning curve.
Yeah,
A
lot.
because once you go back through and you do any part of the movie for the entire thing, right, you need to QC it and check it out. And when something's not working and you don't know every part of the process, it's hard to know why it's not working. So you keep changing the editing, or you keep changing the color correct, or you keep changing this. And in our case, it was not knowing that the audio and the audio mixing was the secret sauce that was not gelling the movie together as it should have been. And that caused a lot of headaches, but now I've learned it. And we've just finished another film earlier this year, and I'm glad to say that I'm almost done with post-production. So we went from 10 years to 1 year.
Oh wow.
That's good.
In the middle of having our baby and
Yeah.
also releasing the feature film and doing all the promotions for it, now working in post-production on this film. he still was able to get it. It's now almost completely done. So a lot of learning lessons. But once you get over the big hurdles, then you know how to do it. So
That's it.
That's awesome. Wow. From
Learn
10
by
years to
doing.
1 year. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. That's awesome.
So when's volume 2 coming? Is there a date or a
will be in production next year. Before
Awesome.
the release of ZombieCon Vol 1, it was kind of like a pipe dream. It was
Yeah.
oh, that would be awesome. Who knows? I mean, maybe in the future. Kyle wrote 2 through 5. I edited them. And he's also got all the way through 10 beat it out. So like we're ready to go full epic saga on this film series, but we're hoping with a couple developments that we've been putting together since the release has been going well, that we should be in pre-production next year on volume 2.
Yeah, and I will say that volume 2 is like way more expansive than volume 1. So, you know, it'll probably be filming, post-production, that stuff. It's going to take at least a year and a half, probably, if it's, done pretty quickly.
Yeah.
I've got a really,
Kyle takes basically a small indie film and then goes like full like saga with it. Yeah, like
a little bit.
you talked about hordes earlier of zombies. Yeah, we're talking army basically of zombies.
So I'll just give one little detail, and I won't say anything else. In volume 2, Erin's character, time skip 10 years in the future, is trying to make up for causing problems that she caused in the first film without spoilers. And she runs a group of ladies called, I forget what exactly they're called, but they ride on agro drones. So, those that, spray fields down and deposit seeds. And they use those to fly into battle on and drop, kind of death from above type thing.
Like light gymnast looking women that are elite soldiers. Right? Death from above. Claire has gone total like Linda Hamilton.
Yeah.
Terminator 2. Yeah, total transformation. I need to play this role. So we're gonna make it happen.
Yes. No, I'm looking forward to it.
Aside from yourself, Erin, are there any other returning castmates?
Well, we don't want to. I don't want to. Are we in spoiler territory?
Earmuffs if you have not seen.
I'll flash spoilers on the screen.
Okay.
Yes, the Rockets are returning. Mama Bear is returning. Don't want to get super far into that, but there's a lot of questions with Mama Bear, kind of just like the ending of Zombie Ball 1 with Rocket being able to somewhat turn back. Will she be able to? Will they be able to hide her from the other members of the Shanty Town? Will there be more explanation about the rock that caused all this? Yes. And maybe a returning villain from, and it maybe.
Well, that's a kind of longer. That's a longer.
It's a
tooth,
longer.
but yeah,
that one's more like, are there questions that will be answered?
You'll get more information, kind of drip fed about the rock and what caused the outbreak, and that's not just a one-time gimmick. That's not like a throwaway thing. It's very much meant to be it's a cornerstone of an aspect of the world that will be built on in a very logical.
See what you did there. It's a cornerstone.
Yeah, that's it.
Awesome.
Oh, nice. I like it because, like I said before, now we're talking spoilers. Like I said, I haven't seen any invoking of a zombie apocalypse the way that your movie has done it before. And I've seen a lot of zombie movies. I think that was very creative and it was something, even when Claire did get the rock, I didn't see anything coming from that. I thought, okay, maybe this is going to be some way to sort of protect the four of you and sort of keep you guys safe. I didn't see that happening at all. So that was very, very well done. And normally I can pick these things from a mile off with the amount of experience that I have watching these things. So the fact that, by just wishing that all the assholes turned into zombies so you could kill them was amazing.
Fantastic. Well, it sounds like we need to hunker down with you if there's a zombie apocalypse, since you've like seen every single scenario.
I mean, I always say you only need to be able to outrun a few people in a zombie apocalypse. And now that I'm in the chair, I can go faster than a lot of people. I've actually tested that out in public, so I could probably outroll a few people.
Nice.
You just got to outrun the person in front of you, and then the zombies will stop and eat them, and then move on. And I just and then
They
just
don't
get to a
follow the
hub.
zombie archetype, right? That they're not really, and that's again, but that's where ZombieCon kind of flips it on its head as they
Mhm.
start to get a little more intelligent. And it's like, would they stop? But also, would they go after you in the first
Mm,
place? Is it a more personal thing?
yeah.
Well, that and again, that's another thing about your movie, and I think I've only seen like one or two other movies, where you give the zombies back some of the intelligence, like I can't I'm hopeless with names. I can't remember the name of that the baddie at the end, but I thought he really nailed that role of, just being that I'm
Asshole.
here. Yeah, well, pretty no, but like that. Not no. I would take it a step further and say a villain. He had that maniacal cogs going inside, thinking, okay, and it made me think that okay, there's a lot more to this than just
Mm,
hulking zombies walking around. There's more organization, and with the intelligence, it
mm.
just adds another factor on top of it.
Absolutely. Yeah. And Carlo did kill that role.
Yeah, he
Mm.
did.
He brought so much depth and nuance to it instead of just kind of like a villain type trope. He really did. A lot
Mhm.
of pain under there, a lot of hurt in his eyes always. It was
Mm.
great.
Yeah, I think that you'll get a kick out of what's coming in volume 2 because it's a not to give anything away, but it's a bit of a mixed bag.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
you get, depending on how basically in tune the zombie is with those kind of feelings, which again, all this stuff is kind of explained throughout the films, but you'll see different levels of zombie, kind of similar like to 28 Years Later, we were talking about before
Hmm.
we got to start recording. You know, you have your alpha zombie, right? And then you've
Hmm.
got kind of your slow walker zombies, and then you're like, the fat zombie that kind of like the
Mm.
crawler that kind of moves in the muck.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's just like a natural progression and evolution to the zombie, where each zombie,
Mm.
depending on their circumstances, is going to have a natural kind of through line to where they kind of land.
Exactly. And that's something that, like you say, we don't see in very many zombie movies. And I think that, that's where your film differs from that, even though a lot of zombie movies sort of take place in, a set period of time. It shares that with 28 days later, or 28 years later, I should say, where there has been that massive time period. And, like you say, the zombies have adapted to the different situations. Whereas in your movie, because of the rock, the rock that you had there, there's a little bit more to it. So there's a little bit of a faster evolution of those zombies.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. So, right, it kind of speeds up
Hmm.
the entire process. So, sorry, I apologize. She's
That's right.
going to,
No, that's totally fine. Totally
so
fine.
we're
Right.
hearing grandma down there. She's struggling. Yeah. She may be getting attacked by a zombie. There are
That's
screams and
all right.
stuff.
Possible. Or alligators, because you're in Florida.
I'll take an alligator over a crocodile anytime.
Yeah. Our spin.
Yeah.
Yeah, the death roll,
Yep.
they call it.
Yours are also quite a bit larger, I think, right? And a bit more
Yep.
aggressive. They're
Yeah.
like,
Ah,
yeah,
but they say if you can, it's really easy to keep the jaws shut.
that's right.
They have
Right. They
no
can't,
up pressure.
yeah. Well, if I ever find myself near the alligator or crocodile, we'll certainly test it out.
I don't think you want to test it out. Um, was it
Yeah,
Florida? Florida, where some guy like wrestled an alligator to get the dog, tried to eat his dog, and he was just like wrestling an alligator.
yeah. And he had a
Yeah,
cigar in his hand the whole time.
yeah.
He marched into the water, and it was like a little tiny baby Chihuahua type
Yeah,
dog.
yeah.
And the alligator wasn't big either, but he like picked up the dog, he's like pulled off the alligator. I think he went back to smoking a cigar after he walks away
Yeah.
surly, like, with his dog in his hand.
Probably wasn't the first time it happened.
Wow. They're
Mhm.
everywhere down here. It's crazy.
Yeah.
And I just heard from someone recently. I was talking to someone about the pythons, and they were like, "Oh yeah, they're anacondas now." because people released pets. So now they're apparently anacondas in the Everglades, which
Yeah.
started with pythons. Now we have anacondas. It's like fantastic.
Slowly becoming the Amazon jungle.
Yeah.
It truly is. I mean, the iguanas were an invasive species, and now they're so frequent down here. It gets cold, and if there are road signs up, because when it drops below a certain temperature, they just start falling out of the trees like coconuts.
Oh, wow.
It's
Jeez.
insane.
Yeah, they're quite big, so they could go easily through your windshield. You're driving, that could be a disaster.
Oh man, that's
Sounds like
insane.
belongs in Australia. Look, when Erin comes back, we have a little game we like to play on the show, but to sign us off. But before we get to that, let's talk inspirations. What were some of your inspirations behind the film? Are there any like movies you love that kind of gave you ideas?
I mean, I'm a kind of a cinephile, and I've always watched like as many movies as I possibly can. So I'm sure that internally I was kind of driving off of, what my favorite kind of nitpicky scenes from everything. The most notable thing that's come to mind recently has been like the tunnel sequence.
Yep.
I realized was like heavily inspired when I was rewatching the film by the alien scene where, Hudson gets taken down through the floor of that red room and they're all kind of, they come through the ceiling and stuff. It's like one of my favorite scenes in all of cinema. So I'm sure that the red coloring came from that. When writing it, I was really trying to take inspiration from as many zombie movies as possible, like, the Romero series, the 28 series, like, but not trying to take anything specifically, like being cognizant of the fact that everyone's going to be looking for things that relate to horror movies and zombie movies in the film and wanting to pay homage and respect to everyone that's done it, before. And, obviously in some places, so much better. You can come in.
I gotta put baby to sleep, so I'm coming in real quick to say goodnight. Anya says goodnight. This is our little baby.
Good night.
Aww.
It's okay. We'll sit for a second. She'll be okay.
Welcome to the show.
Are you the youngest ever guest?
So
Yes.
I would say a myriad of films, a lot of zombie movies, a lot of horror movies, and trying to mix all that with anime.
Yeah.
Nice.
Nice. I like that a lot.
Happy family photo.
Sorry, guys.
That's all right. Hey, no,
Don't
we're
apologize.
super chill. So have you planned on your child's future yet? Like, you know how like parents do. Like, are they going to go up to be a actor or director?
Well, the easy answer is whatever she wants.
Yes, so that's the correct answer. But what's the selfish answer?
I think that Dad is very excited for her to be an awesome director.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That would be the main goal. But she's already been on so many interviews. I feel like anything could be suitable. My dad's been playing a lot of guitar for her, so potential singer, actress, could be a triple threat. We never know.
But I am going to go to bed because she gets overtired, and you don't want an overtired baby. Thank you guys so much.
That's all right. Thanks for coming on.
No, I appreciate that. Thank you.
Oh, do we have a?
Did you guys want to do that?
Only if you want to play a game. We just usually play a game. It's essentially where we give you some parameters and you got to make up a story for us. Essentially, pitch us a movie.
All right, we can do that.
I'll bring up the picture so you know what's going on. This is the first time we've done it with filmmakers. So basically what you're going to do is you're going to give us a number between 1 and 6 for each category. And then each number correlates to a graph that we have and something that's on it. And then we'll give you the parameters and then you got to make up a story for us, essentially.
Fantastic.
So pick a number between 1 and 10 for the setting.
3.
And the genre?
7.
That's 1 and 6. So.
Oh, sorry. I'm sorry.
6?
So main character profession, let's go 2.
Yeah.
And optional addition, let's go 1.
1. Okay. Let's see what we got here, according to our little graph. Okay, so your setting is a suburban cul-de-sac,
Your genre is comedy.
Nice.
and your main character is a detective or a cop.
And your optional addition, that was number one, wasn't it?
Yes, yes, it is.
That is any urban legend figure. So you can make one up or can be any urban legend figure from all of them, the ones to choose from.
Okay.
All right. So you want me to start?
Yeah.
Okay, so Detective Mason has been on the force for the last 20 years. He's grizzled and hardened, and he ventures to this suburban cul-de-sac, on a late afternoon to find that a family is having a problem with the woods behind their house and something that's been creeping into the cul-de-sac as of late. They are thinking that it's a large, hairy creature that has got very large footprints and smells quite terrible.
And the comedy aspect kicks in because there's rumors going around this cul-de-sac because the neighbors all gossip. They all have their own little infighting and teams and competitions, even though everything's all cool on the upside. There might be one of the husbands having a late night activity streaking through the cul-de-sac. But
And after an extensive search for what the wife who called him to the cul-de-sac thought was Bigfoot, they do eventually find that no, it was the neighbor, Mr. Reynolds.
And Mr. Reynolds was having an affair with Miss Johnson down the street, and she was beating him for what everyone else thought he was just streaking. But no, they had caught them on a little rendezvous one night. They were spotted.
And and this at first wasn't believed because the wife of Mr. Reynolds was sure that he was clean shaven due to their marital experience. And later find that in a Scooby-Doo-esque uncovering that he has purchased a large fake chest of hair and pubic hair, which he's using as disguise in order to cover his tracks in the neighborhood.
And out of nowhere, the detective starts getting hot on another trail, and he finds some real footprints behind Miss Johnson's house. And this is where the plot thickens because Bigfoot might actually be on the prowl.
And is actually the secret lover of Mrs. Reynolds.
Well done. I love it. I love it.
Oh, that's too good. Do you have time for one more? One more?
Sure.
That's the name of the movie.
Because we have two graphs or a few graphs. We'll do one more and let you go because you've been so wonderful. So you can give us the same numbers because it'll have a different result, or you can give us new numbers. That's
perfect. So setting will go 5.
We'll go 5.
Genre will go 4.
4.
Main character profession will go 6.
Yep.
And optional edition will go 3.
3. Okay, sweet. Making sure I got the right graph this time. Okay, so your setting is the zoo.
Oh.
And out of no coincidence at all, your genre again is comedy.
Oh. And your main character's profession is a grifter or a con artist.
And it was number 3 for the optional edition?
Yes, it was.
Okay, you must include in your story Henry Cavill.
Well,
oh wow.
It's a very epic day at the newly minted Orlando Zoo, where they've invited special guest Henry Cavill for the ribbon cutting. And
unfortunately, a grifter who works at the zoo wanted to cosplay as Henry Cavill and take all of the spotlight and attention for himself. So he, unknowingly to anyone else, has duct taped Henry Cavill and knocked him out. And he is now hidden and stashed him away in a cage. Which cage?
And so as he is masquerading and enjoying all the perks of his now VIP status, he finds himself on a behind-the-scenes tour of the zoo, only to be led to be trapped in the gorilla cage, where
Henry Cavill has freed himself.
and our grifter after finding himself locked in the gorilla cage, finds himself in a desperate battle to stay alive as the male silverback gorilla is attempting to mate with him. So he is attempting all methods of escape.
Thankfully, Henry Cavill comes in though to save the day because he's such a gentleman, and he rescues
the grifter and
used that a very aggressive silverback with his charm and with force.
And the story ends with Henry Cavill cutting the ribbon and leading to a beautiful opening to the zoo. And the silverback gorilla gets what he always wanted, as a neighboring zoo brings a female gorilla to satisfy its needs.
I thought you were going to say, because Henry Cavill was such a gentleman, he saved the grifter and then mated with the gorilla. So, just because he's a gentleman and he wanted everyone to go away happy, So
thoughtful about Henry Cavill.
Oh, well done.
Amazing.
Well done. I love that.
That was
And you've done it well off the cuff too. No real thought time needed.
That was awesome.
There you go.
I love that.
Your next 2 movies are written for you.
Exactly. You've just got to find a way to get Henry Cavill.
Yes.
This is the role of a century. This is, Oscar gold. It's odd too how both these stories have to do with, hairy animals and lovemaking.
I was going to say we were talking about the interspecies on that second story. I was going to steer us away.
Yeah. Awesome. Well, thank you so much for joining us, all 3 of you. And what we'll do is give you the floor to plug your movie, tell our listeners where they can follow you, find the movie, and the floor's yours.
Awesome. Well, our website is ZombieCon Vol1. That's the number 1.com. So we have all the links where you can buy or rent the film. Currently, it's on VOD in North America right now, but we have a DVD release October 14th. It's available right now for pre-order on Amazon Prime. So we'll be having that link out on our website. And then our socials are at ZombieCon Movie across all the social media platforms. I run all of them except Kyle's got TikTok. He's teaching himself. He's fitting in with the youngsters. It's a great adventure. Come definitely follow us and shoot us a message because it's us you'll be communicating with.
I'm not fitting in.
He's doing his best. Speaking of grifters. And we'll keep you up to date. So come follow along and definitely let us know what you think of the movie. Shoot us a message. We'd love to hear.
Awesome. Well, it just so happens that this episode is coming out on the release date of the DVD.
Great.
So look at the way that everything ties together neatly.
Beautiful.
Awesome.
And thank you for having us on. This has been an absolute blast.
Oh, it's been fun. Well, next movie or anytime you want to come back on, reach out. We'll make it happen because this has been a lot of fun.
It has. We really appreciate you coming on, and make sure, listeners, you check out ZombieCon Volume 1. It is a great movie and a very unique take on how a zombie apocalypse starts.
Excellent. Well, guys, thank you for watching and listening. If you want to reach out, thetrueandthefictional@gmail.com. All our socials are linked down below. Buy Ryan's shirt because
buy my shirt.
He wants more than just his wife to buy his shirt.
Yes.
So please do that. Check out our sponsors, Rebecca Castles, Martin Kearns. All their links are down below. And until then, keep supporting the indie people of the world, and we'll catch you on the next episode.
See you next time.